good to see you. Today we are back with the Celebrate with Woman's World keepsake issue. Now this one is from August 2017, and earlier we went through a few of the Halloween ideas for little treats and things that you can eat and things that you can make, like this really cool cake. And we were not able to finish. So what I did was I dog-eared that page, and it's right on the other side of this, right here. See? I just turned the page there right on the edge, and then we come back to this here. This is where we stopped. And we're going to take a look and see what else we can find. Isn't this adorable? Look at this. And it has all kinds of little candies in here. We have the little cream pumpkins, individually wrapped candies like Reese's Cups and Hershey's Minis. It's so adorable. So we have here the instructions to prepare a candy-filled jack-o'-lantern cake. So this is actually a cake. And if you notice this handle here, it's going up here. This is made of black licorice. So that is such a cute idea. And then down here in the plate, you see that they put some more little pieces of candy down here. And it's just resting on a plain plate. Bring the fun of trick-or-treating indoors with party-perfect sweets inspired by Halloween candy. So we have the candy corn right up here, Milky Way, Tootsie Rolls, and the cream pumpkins again. So this is our candy-filled jack-o'-lantern cake. Know those classic pumpkin-shaped baskets kids used to trick-or-treat? We designed our cake to look just like one that's been filled to the brim with candy. And we have the list of ingredients here that you're going to need to make your cake. You need 1 1/2 cups of mini chocolate chips, 3 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 2 packages, 15.25 ounces each, of yellow cake mix, 6 eggs, 1 cup of sour cream, 3 cans, 16 ounces each, of vanilla frosting, 2 teaspoons of orange concentrated food coloring, 1/4 cup of orange decorating sugar, 3 tablespoons of black decorating sugar, 5 black, 2 yellow, and 3 green gumdrops, 3 tablespoons of green decorating sugar, 2 7-inch long pieces of black licorice twists, wooden toothpicks, and assorted Halloween candy. So the first step to make the jack-o'-lantern cake is that, of course, you bake the cake. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Coat 2 12-cup each bundt pans with cooking spray. Combine 3/4 of a cup of chocolate chips and 1 1/2 teaspoons of cinnamon and reserve. On low speed, beat 1 cake mix with 1 cup of water, 3 eggs, and 1/2 cup of sour cream until blended, 30 seconds. On medium speed, beat 2 minutes. Stir in the reserved chocolate chip mixture, and then you pour the batter into 1 pan, and you repeat with the remaining 3/4 of a cup of chips, 1 1/2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 package of cake mix, 1 cup of water, 3 eggs, and 1/2 cup of sour cream. Pour the second batter into the remaining pan. Bake the cakes 35 minutes or until the toothpick inserted into the centers comes out clean. Then you take your cakes and you cool them on racks for 20 minutes. Transfer from pans to racks to cool completely. And then, okay, here we have a little picture of the bundt cake pan, the bundt cakes. Conjure up our Jolly Jack. Step 1. Tint frosting orange with food coloring. Reserve 1/4 of the frosting. If necessary, trim the widest side of each cake to level. Place 1 cake level side up on the serving plate. Spread with 1 cup of frosting, and then you top with the remaining cake level side down to form a pumpkin shape as shown right here. Spread the cake with the remaining frosting, and you sprinkle it with the orange sugar to coat it completely. You can see over here what it looks like. And now we have step 2. On paper, draw 6-inch long, 1.5-inch wide mouth shape with teeth, 3 inches tall, 1.5 inches wide eye shape, and 1.5-inch triangle. And then you cut out the templates. For the mouth, you press 2 black gumdrops together. On wax paper sprinkled with black sugar, roll out the pressed gumdrops to 1/8-inch thickness. Using mouth-shaped template, cut out mouth as shown. You can see the mouth cut out here. For the eyes, you press and roll out 2 black gumdrops together. Using eye-shaped template, cut out 2 eyes. For the nose, press and roll out the remaining black gumdrop. Using triangle template, cut nose. So you can see these were gumdrops. With reserved frosting, attach face features to the cake. So these are just stuck on here with the little frosting. Cut 1/8-inch thick slice off the bottom of the yellow gumdrops. With the frosting, attach it to the eyes. Discard the remaining yellow gumdrop pieces. Press green gumdrops together. On green sugar, on green sugar, you roll out to 1/8-inch thickness. Using 2-inch maple leaf shaped cookie cutter, cut out 3 leaves. And up here you can see the result of that. We have the little leaf shaped items here, and these are made of rolled out gumdrops. That's really cool. I can think of a lot of different uses for that. Okay, and then we have step 3. This is the last step. For the handle, trim the ends of licorice twists. Insert a small piece of toothpick into one end of one twist. Slide one end of the remaining twist over the toothpick to join twists together as shown. Insert the toothpicks into each remaining end of each twist as shown. Insert toothpick ends of handle onto top of cake. Garnish with gumdrop leaves and candy. Makes 24 servings. Note, remove toothpicks before serving. And we have a tip here, and it has to do with the bundt pans. Don't have 2 bundt pans. Just bake your cakes one at a time, cooling, cleaning, and recoating the pans with cooking spray between each use. It's good to know because I don't have 2 bundt pans. So if I wanted to make this, I would have to either get a second bundt pan or do that. Okay, so that is our jack-o'-lantern, our candy-filled jack-o'-lantern cake. And it's really neat. I like it. Oh, look at this pretty thing. Oh, I'm loving these cakes. Look at this pretty cake. This is, oh look, it has a little bat. And I'm guessing these are made the same way with the gumdrops. And again, we have the licorice handle on it. And little candies up here at the top. It looks like it's lined with Reese's Pieces. And then we have little pieces of candy inside. And this is called the Trick or Treat Bag Cake. It's a fitting name. And that's so cute. This fanciful cake proves that the trick-or-treating doesn't have to stop when the kids get home. And of course we have the list of ingredients to make the trick-or-treat bag cake. You need 2 cans, 16 ounces each of vanilla frosting, 3 packages, 10.75 ounces each of frozen pound cakes, thawed, 42 each yellow and orange Reese's Pieces candies, which are these things here, 2 black licorice twists, 7 orange, 4 black, and 1 green gumdrop, orange, black, and green decorating sugars, 1 tube of 4.25 ounce black decorating icing, white, green, and yellow round confetti sprinkles. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Looks like there's some confetti on here. 1 teaspoon of light corn syrup, 1 container, 2.5 ounces of pumpkin mix sprinkles. And then we have the instructions, and it actually looks quite simple. Okay. Assorted Halloween candy. You assemble the pound cakes first. Spread 1/4 cup of frosting over each bottom of 2 pound cakes. On a serving platter, arrange the cakes sandwiched together with remaining pound cake as shown. And then we frost the cake. Spread the remaining frosting over the top and sides of the cake. Alternating colors, press Reese's candy along the top and bottom. Oh, it's down here too. So we have them across the top and the bottom. See, it's on a little tray. It's like a little black tray with some candies. So it goes, you have the Reese's Pieces, little candies that go along the top and the bottom edges of your cake. For the handles, using a skewer or a small knife, cut 4 small holes into the top of the cake. And in there you are going to insert the licorice twists. So you have 1, 2, and then back here 3 and 4. And now it's time to make the decorations. Press the orange gumdrops together. On the surface sprinkled with orange sugar, roll out 1/8 of an inch to 1/8 of an inch thickness. Using 3-inch, 2 1/4 inch, and 1 1/2 inch pumpkin-shaped cookie cutters, you cut out the pumpkins. Some little pumpkins here. Roll out black and green gumdrops in matching sugars. And then using 4-inch bat-shaped cookie cutter, cut out the bats from the black gumdrop sheet. Gumdrop sheet. With a knife, cut out the stems from the green gumdrop. Decorate cutouts with black icing and confetti sprinkles. Lightly brush back of stems with corn syrup attached to pumpkins. So you have the little green bit here. Okay, and then it's time to decorate the cake. Press the pumpkins, bats, and pumpkin mix sprinkles onto the cake. So you just press them on there, wherever you want them. Refrigerate until frosting is set, 30 minutes. Top with candy before serving. And this cake makes 24 servings. Sounds so adorable. Look at that. That is the cutest little thing. Oh, and look at this one. Oh, this is awesome. Look at this. It's a big candy corn cake. That is so sweet. And of course here, candy corn cake. And we have little candy corns along the edge down here too. Let's see what this one says. Our impressively corny cake is easier than it looks, thanks to cake mix and colored decorating sugars. Looks like it would be big. So we have some ingredients here. For the cake, you're going to need 1 package, 16.5 or 15.25 ounce yellow cake mix with pudding in the mix. So you have to make sure it kind of has pudding in it. 1 cup of water, 1/3 of a cup of butter, preferably Land O'Lakes, melted, 3 eggs, and 2 tablespoons of orange sprinkles. And then we have separately down here the ingredients for the frosting. It looks like for this cake you're going to be making the frosting. You need 1 cup of butter at room temperature, 6 cups of confectioner's sugar from 2 16-ounce packages, 5 to 6 tablespoons of half and half, yellow, orange, and white decorating sugars. And we'll also need candy corn for them. Now it's time to bake the cake. You preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Line the bottom of a 13-inch by 9-inch baking pan with foil or parchment paper. Coat the pan with cooking spray. On low speed, beat the cake mix. 1 cup of water, butter, and eggs for 30 seconds. On medium, beat it for an additional 2 minutes. You stir in the sprinkles into the cake mix. Pour it into baking pan. Bake for 29 to 32 minutes or until the toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. Cool for 1 hour. Cover with foil and freeze for 2 hours. And now it's time to whip up the frosting right here. In a large bowl, on medium-low speed, beat butter until fluffy. On low, gradually beat in confectioner's sugar until blended. On medium, beat in half and half until frosting is fluffy. And after you do that, it's time to assemble the cake. Invert the frozen cake onto a large cutting board. Carefully peel off the foil. If cake is not releasing out of the pan, place warm, damp dish towels over the inverted pan to help release the cake. Following the diagram below, cut the cake as shown. So you have like a big triangle here and smaller ones there. Sorry, like this. Cut it as shown using a ruler or a straight edge to guide your knife. Place the triangles A and C in a single layer with points at top on a large rectangle platter or a baking sheet covered with foil to form one large triangle. Spread the top of the triangle with some of the frosting. Carefully place large triangle on top of the frosted triangle. Trim all edges if necessary to make it even. Working quickly, spread the cake with the remaining frosting. And now it's time to decorate your cake. Use the knife tip or a toothpick to draw lines for separating the decorating sugars so you'll know where to put each color. To keep the sugar colors from blending, cover the sections that are not being sprinkled with wax paper. Generously sprinkle wide edge of triangle with yellow sugar. Right here. The middle section with orange sugar. And the pointed section with white sugar. Right up there. So you have 1, 2, 3. Decorate the sides of the cake with candy corn. Mix 16 servings. Well, that is just the cutest thing. I love that. Ooh, look at this. This looks good. I love stuff like this. Oh, I love popcorn that's mixed with stuff. It's so good. And we have these little Halloween containers here with the little spiders on them. You know, it's fun to take metal buckets like this and take a little spider like this and attach a magnet underneath where you can stick to the bucket. Just a thought, that might be what they did here. I don't know. This is called Candy Packed Caramel Corn, and you can see it does have candy in here. It looks like it has some pretzels too, some M&Ms, candy corn, all kinds of good things. Guests will be grabbing this sweet and salty snack by the handful, so why not make a second batch too? And here we have the ingredients. You need 16 cups of plain popped popcorn from 2 5.5-ounce packages, preferably lightly salted, reduced fat, air-popped popcorn. 5 cups of miniature pretzels, 2 cups packed of light brown sugar, 1 cup of butter, preferably Land O'Lakes, a half a cup of dark corn syrup, a half a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of baking soda, 1 cup of salted cocktail peanuts, 1 cup of M&Ms, and 1 cup of candy corn. Then the first step, once you've assembled all of your ingredients, preheat the oven to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Line the baking sheet with foil. Combine popcorn and pretzels in a large roasting pan, and then set aside. Combine the brown sugar, butter, corn syrup, and salt in a 2-quart pot. Cook over medium heat, stirring occasionally for 18 to 20 minutes or until the mixture comes to a full boil. Continue cooking, stirring occasionally for 3 to 5 minutes or until a small amount of the mixture dropped into ice forms a small ball or a candy thermometer reaches 240 degrees Fahrenheit. Remove from heat and stir in baking soda. And then we're going to bake the mixture. Pour the mixture over the popcorn and pretzels. Sprinkle with peanuts. Stir until all popcorn is coated. Bake for 20 minutes and then stir, and then continue baking 20 minutes. Stir in chocolate pieces and candy corn. Continue baking for 5 minutes. Immediately spread over baking sheets to cool. Store in tightly covered container, and this will make 26 cups of this yummy, delicious mix of candy-packed caramel corn. That looks so yummy. Oh, look at this. This here, I wasn't sure what this was. This is, down here it says this is candy corn dip. I've never heard of candy corn dip. That's interesting. It's a dessert dip. Dessert dips are all the rage, and our triple layered take is fun to eat with sweet and salty dippers. See, they have pretzels down here, chocolate covered pretzels, regular pretzels, pieces of chocolate, the little cream pumpkins, some candy corn, all kinds of stuff. And then they have some sitting up here on the top as well. So first we have to assemble our ingredients. You will need 8 ounces of butter at room temperature, 1 jar, 7.5 ounces of marshmallow fluff, 1.5 cups of confectioner's sugar, 3 tablespoons of milk, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/4 teaspoon of lemon yellow concentrated food coloring, 3/4 teaspoon of orange concentrated food coloring, 1/4 cup of candy corn, miniature chocolate candy bars, chocolate covered and plain pretzels, and assorted candy corn and pumpkins. This stuff down here. And then after you have all your ingredients, the first thing we're going to do is make the dip. On medium-high speed, beat butter until light and fluffy. On low, gradually beat in the fluff and confectioner's sugar. Add milk and vanilla and beat until light and fluffy. And then we're going to layer the dip. Evenly divide the mixture among 3 bowls, about 3/4 cup per layer, per bowl. Stir in yellow food coloring into 1 bowl, and you spread it in the bottom of 2 1/2 to 3 cup serving dish. So this is not a huge thing here. Stir orange coloring into another bowl, and then you spread it over the yellow layer. Top with the remaining white mixture, and then you top it with some candy corn. You serve with candy and pretzel dippers, and it makes 18 servings. So I actually wondered if each layer would be a different flavor, but it's actually not. I just used food coloring in these 2. That's really pretty though, I like that. Oh, look at this. I want to see how many more of these we have. We just have a couple more. We're going to look at these. Oh, look! I love bark. I love this stuff, like almond bark. Oh, it's so good. Or peppermint bark. It's wonderful. This one is Halloween candy bark. Obviously, we have candy corn and some maybe Reese's Pieces and some pieces of chocolate. Customize these festive confections with your gang's favorite candies. They make amazing party favors packaged in little glassine bags. And the ingredients list is very short. You need 18 ounces of white chocolate, chopped, assorted Halloween candy, such as candy corn, broken candy bars, and sixlets. This might be good to make if you have leftover Halloween candy, something like this. First, you melt the chocolate. Line a 15-inch by 10-inch rimmed baking sheet with enough foil to overhang long sides by 2 inches. In a large microwave-safe bowl, you microwave the chocolate on high in 1-minute intervals, stirring until melted and smooth, and then you spread it in the pan. And then you decorate the bark. Immediately sprinkle candy over the chocolate and lightly press it in. Refrigerate until set About 30 minutes. And then you break it into pieces. Makes about 24 pieces. Well, that's very simple. Nothing to it. Oh, look at these delicious little things here. Oh my gosh. These are called triple layer candy squares. Oh, they look wonderful, don't they? They're just beautiful. With marshmallow, cereal, peanuts, caramel, and candy corn, these layered treats are perfect for kids and kids at heart. Oh, they're gorgeous. Okay, and we have some ingredients here. First, we have the ingredients for the crust. You need one package, 15.25 or 16.5 ounces of yellow cake mix with pudding in the mix. Then you need a half a cup of butter, preferably Land O'Lakes at room temperature, 1 egg, 3 cups of miniature marshmallows. And then for the topping, you need a half a cup of light corn syrup, a quarter of a cup of granulated sugar, a quarter of a cup of packed brown sugar, a half a cup of creamy peanut butter, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2 cups of crisp rice cereal, like Rice Krispies, 2 cups of salted peanuts, and 1 cup of candy corn. And down here you can kind of see that it has a crust on it. And you're going to bake the crust. You preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. On low speed, you beat the cake mix and butter in a bowl until blended, and then you beat in the egg. Press onto bottom of ungreased 15-inch by 10-inch by 1-inch rimmed baking sheet. Bake for 12 to 15 minutes or until set and edges are lightly browned. Remove from oven. Immediately sprinkle marshmallows over the hot crust. So this layer is marshmallow right here. And then you return it to the oven. And you're going to bake it again for 1 to 2 minutes or until the marshmallows puff up. And then we're going to make the topping. In a large pot, combine corn syrup, sugar, and brown sugar. And then over medium heat, cook, stirring until the mixture comes to a boil for 2 to 4 minutes. Remove from heat and stir in peanut butter and vanilla until smooth. Stir in cereal, peanuts, and candy corn. Immediately spoon over the marshmallow layer on the crust to cover. Cool completely and then cut it into bars. It makes 48 bars. Those are just so yummy looking. And then these are our last 2 items. Oh, look at these beautiful little cookies here. Ooh. Now these are candy-studded chocolate cookies. Oh, they look delicious. These big, soft fudge cookies are dotted with M&Ms and peanut butter candies. And we have the ingredients for the gift-giving jar back here. You need 1 cup of all-purpose flour, a half a teaspoon of salt, a quarter teaspoon of baking soda, a 32-ounce jar with a lid, such as a pasta sauce or a canning jar, a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, 3/4 cup of sugar, 3/4 of a cup of Reese's Pieces candies from a 10.5-ounce package. Why would it matter what size package it came out of? I don't know. 3/4 of a cup of purple M&Ms. And then we have the ingredients for baking the cookies. You need 3/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 2 eggs beaten, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. First, we're going to make the cookie mix. In a bowl, combine flour, salt, and soda. In the 32-ounce jar, layer the flour mixture, cocoa, and sugar. Top with a mixture of Reese's Pieces and M&Ms and seal. To bake the cookies. To bake the treats, include these directions with your gift jar if you don't use our label. Coat 2 baking sheets with cooking spray. Melt 3/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter over low heat and cool. Stir in 2 eggs beaten, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and the contents of the jar. So you give them the dry ingredients to do this. Drop the dough by 1/4 cupfuls 2 inches apart onto the baking sheets. Flatten into 3-inch rounds. Bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 to 15 minutes or until firm. Transfer to racks and cool completely. Mix 14. So you can get 14 of these cookies. And we have a tip. Love our packaging? You'll find our printable tags and instructions for decorating the lids at womansworld.com/make-it. Make-it. And here, finally, we have these silly cookies. Look. Oh, you can make so many different faces with these cookies. Aren't they adorable? Look. They're so cute. I like that one. These are candy corn sandwich cookies. Turn store-bought chocolate wafer cookies into impressively silly party treats with candy and icing. Oh, this will be so much fun to do with kids. Okay, so we have a little skinny list of ingredients over here. Oh, my kids would love this. They wouldn't look like this. It would just be blobs of stuff, but who cares? It'd still be fun. For this, you will need 1/2 of a cup of butter, preferably Land O'Lakes. I'm starting to think Land O'Lakes sponsored this. At room temperature. 3 cups of confectioner's sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk, orange concentrated food coloring, 1 package, 9 ounces, of chocolate wafer cookies, about 40 cookies, candy corn, and then 1 tube of 0.75 ounces of black decorating gel. Once you've assembled all of your ingredients, the next thing we're going to do is whip up the frosting. In a bowl on medium-low speed, beat the butter until fluffy. On low, gradually beat in confectioner's sugar until blended. On medium, beat in vanilla and enough milk until frosting is smooth and creamy. Tint orange with food coloring. And then we're going to assemble the cookies. Spread the bottoms of half of the cookies with a heaping tablespoon of frosting. Reserve the remaining frosting. Top with the remaining cookies, bottom sides down. And then we decorate the cookies. For the eyes, attach 2 pieces of candy corn to each cookie with tiny amounts of reserved frosting. For the pupils, pipe on black gel. Transfer the remaining frosting to plastic sandwich bag. Snip tiny hole in one corner of the bag. Pipe the mouths, noses, and eyebrows onto the cookies. Mix 20 servings. Those are so cute. Okay, so now we have gone over the Halloween things. Oh, there's a little more. I'm going to look at these very briefly. Oh, look at this wreath. Isn't that cool? Welcome guests with a crazy candy wreath. Oh, it's actually made of candy. Wow. Let's read this. I thought that was the last page, but it's not. This witch is ready to welcome Halloween revelers with a wreath full of candy, and all it takes is a snip of the scissors to indulge in a sweet treat. First, you gather your supplies. You will need a wire wreath form with 4 wires. This one is 18 inches. Half of a 5-inch styrofoam egg, vertically divided. And felt, 9 inches by 12 inches each, of lime green and black and white scrap. Straight pins, Beacon Fabri-Tac glue, 15mm wiggle eyes, 2 lime green mini pom-poms, 9 purple chenille stems, half a yard of magenta tulle ribbon, 1.5 yards each of 1 1/4 inch glittery magenta, and 1.5 inch zebra ribbons, 3 yards of 1.5 inch sheer orange wired ribbon, string, and 3 to 4 pounds of assorted wrapped candies with twisted ends, a few lollipops, and then 1 yard of narrow orange ribbon and scissors. Fashion our frightful witch. Start the witch. Pull green felt taut around the egg's curved side, and then pin it and glue it in the back. Roll 3.5-inch by 2-inch felt and then glue on for the nose. Cut felt eyelids. Glue on eyes and lids. Add black felt mouth and eyebrows. White teeth. Pom-pom warts. Pom-pom warts. It just sounds funny. For the hair, let me show you the witch. You can see her up here. For the hair, cut 8 chenille stems in half. Curl and then glue on as shown. Make the hat crown and brim in large patterns at 400%, then 200%. Fold 1 piece of black felt. Place the brim's straight edge on the fold and cut out. Cut the crown from the second piece. Cut the brim edge raggedly. Fold in half at points, and then you glue on the top and back of the head. Roll crown into a cone and glue. Fold the last chenille stem in half. Insert into hat crown. And then you glue on and adjust the hat's point. Like, just pull it down like that. And then finish and add the candy. We're going to cut wide ribbons into 18-inch lengths. Stack and tie in the center with 18-inch string. Glue behind the head. String ends up and down. Tie head to wreath. Glue a felt scrap behind to secure and arrange the ribbons. Using string, tie candies to the wreath, mixing up types and colors. Tie on scissors with narrow ribbon. So people can come along and just snip the piece of candy that they want. That is so cool. Oh, look at the pumpkins. Aren't they cute? That's so cute. Give your party some pumpkin personality. Show that your house is party central with a darling pumpkin decoration by the front door. Oh, look, you have the little pumpkin, like a little vampire and a witch. That's cute. I'm just stacked up there. I like the shoes here. Like the Wicked Witch of the East, I believe it was. Yeah. And then we have these are like plastic pumpkins that are put together with little cats in them. That's so sweet. And then we get into Thanksgiving. But we're not going to look at that yet. We're actually going to save that for later. When we get closer to Thanksgiving, we'll take a look at that. Oh, that's delightful. Sounds like a tiny tap dancer. So that will be it for the Halloween section of this keepsake issue from autumn 2017. And then later on, after Halloween, we will go in, we'll look at this again, and we will take a look at all the neat things that they have for Thanksgiving. So thank you so much for watching. It is so good to see you every day. And I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I hope to see you again really soon. I want to make a whole video just doing this right here. If you like this, let me know. Because I'm actually kind of digging this. I can just make a whole video where we tap on this thing. That, to me, sounds nice. So if you like it, you would like to have a video of just this tappity tap 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 sound, let me know in the comments below. Thank you again. And we'll see